Hello, my name is Matt Wagner, and I would like to show you, along with the Czech Red Cross, a way to get hygienically safe water from a local water source in the event of an emergency. This procedure will eliminate all viruses, bacteria, and parasites from the water. It has been verified and confirmed by many laboratories around the world. It is suitable for disaster situations and armed conflicts. It is not a permanent water supply. This principle does not ensure the removal of all chemical agents such as gas and oil. The water obtained is suitable for cooking, drinking, personal hygiene, and most importantly, cleaning wounds. The water obtained can be used for 6 months, and thus it can be stored and used later. The cost of water purification is relatively low, €8 per 1,000 liters, which works out to be 1 cent per liter of water. So we will choose a water source. The first thing is to check the area to make sure it's a viable source to use. Also to check the surface for any chemical contaminants like oil, which you would see floating on the surface of the water. Connect the pump to the hose system. The hoses are rubberized, durable, and well stored. There are 3 hoses included, one 20 and 2 10-meter hoses, which can be combined in any way. Set the choke to max and start. Starting the pump is only possible on the land. You should make sure to never get any water into the exhaust. The choke is then used to set the required power. For the purpose of filling the IBC barrel, low power is sufficient. If the pump is set on water, it must be secured to prevent it from floating away. The IBC barrel can be filled with or without the hose nozzle. The hose nozzle helps us regulate the flow or stop the flow of water when filling the barrel. If you remove the red nozzle, the water will flow faster and fill the container quicker. A very important reminder that during this whole process, the lid must remain a tiny bit open to allow airflow. In one of these, there are 10 packets of Aquosterol, which can sterilize up to 10,000 liters of water. We use the Aquosterol product. The principle is this: a high dose of active chlorine safely destroys all viruses, bacteria, and parasites. Then, with the help of a vitamin-based dechlorinator, the water is freed of chlorine. The result is safe, odorless, and tasteless water. There is no chlorine smell. The whole process is very fast and very safe. The steps are as follows. Pour the entire red packet of A1000 into an IBC barrel with 1,000 liters of water. Stir and leave for 1 hour. The water smells very strongly of chlorine, and there is no danger of anyone trying to drink it because of this. Nevertheless, we will label the barrel with the sign "No" for safety reasons. For example, in case we have to leave the area for safety reasons and leave everything behind. In order to save time, it is better to add the A1000 into the barrel while the water is pouring and to mix it with the stream of water. In order to save time, you should close the hose, move the hose to the next container, and open it. However, the hose should not stay closed for a very long time because you can damage the pump. It is important to remember that after pouring the A1000 into the IBC barrel and stirring it, it must be left for 1 hour. During this time, the A1000 will destroy all of the viruses, bacteria, and parasites in the water. Take a bucket of water from the tank that has the chlorine in it. Add the packet of B1000. Mix the B1000 until it's dissolved. Then pour it into the chlorinated water. Mix it a little bit more, and the water will become immediately hygienically safe. In order to speed up the process, we can use a double barrel system to reduce queues, or in the case of emergency where we can't stay in the area very long. So the first barrel will be used for water distribution, while the second barrel is currently undergoing the sterilization and chlorination process. Once the water from the first barrel is halfway discharged, we will dechlorinate and start the process in the second barrel so the process can continue smoothly and there will be no gaps in the water distribution process. As soon as the water in the first barrel is empty, we will start to use the second barrel, then refill the first barrel to continue the process again so there are no delays in distribution. In this way, there will never be any gaps in the water distribution process. When people come to you with contaminated water containers, the general problem is that people pour decontaminated water into a contaminated container, and the whole disinfection process becomes meaningless. There is a solution. If someone is standing in the line for water with his or her contaminated water container, the queuing time is going to be longer. So we should use this time to take some water from the IBC container containing chlorine, pour it into their container, and leave it for 20 minutes. After 20 minutes, this water is then poured back into the IBC container from which it was taken. This is because the water is microbially safe and it would be a shame to pour it out. Now the originally contaminated container is safe and it can be filled with hygienically safe water. We have fitted the IBCs with a protective jacket, protection from the sun and high temperatures. IBCs can also be operated directly from a vehicle. At the end of this process, the water may be a little bit cloudy, but it does not mean that it's not hygienically safe. The process kills everything that could possibly harm you in the water. All microorganisms are now dead, and it is perfectly safe to drink. Thank you for your attention. We hope that this process can help you obtain sustainable, hygienically safe drinking water. If you're interested in getting any of these supplies, please contact us in the email provided at the end of the video.